And all I could taste is this moment, and all I can breathe is your light. And sooner or later it's over, I just don't want to miss you tonight. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? And welcome back to Movie Reviews. I'm your host, that movie review guy. You guys digging the Vader helmet? It's my brand new helmet. Absolutely love it. Thought I would wear it for the video today. Now, as I posted in my preview video, today's review is on an older movie from 2012 called The Iceman. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, it's the screen adaptation of the true story of real-life serial killer and mob hitman Richard Kuklinski. Richard Kuklinski was not only a serial killer, but a mob hitman whose life of crime spanned from the 60s into the early 80s when he was captured in an undercover operation to capture him within the act of attempted murder. With that being said, let's jump into today's review. Now, this is a movie that that movie review guy, was actually disappointed with. And no, it wasn't because of the performance by the cast. It was because the movie took a little bit of fact and mixed it with a whole bunch of fiction to bring us a Hollywood fairy tale of events that took place by Richard Kuklinski. Now, the cast, they had an outstanding performance in this film. How Michael Shannon didn't get nominated for an Oscar is beyond me, because he was phenomenal in this movie. Michael Shannon didn't necessarily look the part, but he was able to capture his mannerisms, his body language, and even got his voice to sound almost identical to the real Richard Kuklinski. Michael Shannon achieved this by watching a 20-hour video of the real-life serial killer talking to a criminal psychologist about his life of crime. I mean, Michael Shannon goes as far as to mirroring perfectly his body language, the way he chews his gum, his mannerisms, and his voice. I mean, it was just absolutely awesome to watch him transform into this character. It also stars Wynonna Rider, Ray Liotta, David Schwimmer, and Chris Evans. Who, by the way, Chris Evans is one of my favorite actors. He is a badass. But anyway, getting back to the review, the reasons why I was disappointed with this film, like I said, is not because of the cast and their performance, but because the story, it didn't stick to the facts the way it happened, and that really disappointed me. And I know that I am not alone in saying that, because I also read some of the other reviews online, and a lot of people said the same thing. They were expecting a movie that would stick to the facts, kind of like Goodfellas did. Goodfellas stuck to the facts of what happened with minimal fictional stuff that happened. And that's what we, the movie viewers, were expecting with this movie, was a movie that would stick to the facts and show us what really happened. And that's not what we got. And that's why I and so many other people disliked this movie. Not to say it's not worth a watch, because it is. It's definitely a good movie in its own right. It's got some entertainment value to it. And according to my research I did, some of the characters were based off of real people. The other ones, I don't know about. And what I mean by that is David Schwimmer has a character named Josh Rosenthal who has a close relationship with the Roy DeMeo guy, played by Ray Liotta. And their relationship creates problems for every single cast member in the movie. And I don't know if he was a real guy in real life, or if it was just made up for the movie for the sake of having a character to create tension for everybody else. Chris Evans, his character, Robert Prongi, yes, he was a real life person. Yes, he kept bodies stored in an ice cream truck freezer that he would go and dump off later on. And yes, you see that in the movie, and yes, it's very disgusting and disturbing. Because in one scene, he's giving kids popsicles and ice cream that's been on top of a dead body in the freezer of his ice cream truck. Now, the real Robert Prongi, not much was known about him other than the fact that he was a military veteran that specialized in explosives. And you see that in the movie. Not so much about him being a military veteran, but the fact that he knows how to make explosives. In real life, Prongi, well, at least according to Kuklinski, Prongi taught him how to freeze bodies to throw off the coroners for the time of death, and how to make it look like a missing persons case, and then suddenly a body shows up. But I believe that Robert Prongi's character was completely exaggerated in this film. Because, like I said, according to my research, not much was really known about the guy, other than the fact that he was a military veteran that did explosives and drove an ice cream truck. Now, Wynonna Rider plays the wife of Kuklinski, and this character also was taken with a lot of artistic licensing because the real-life wife of Kuklinski lived in fear of her husband, and so did her children. And you see a little bit of that in the film, but not a whole lot of it. And that's one of the things that personally upset me, because it almost gives you a fairy tale version of what their relationship was actually like. Because in real life, like I said, they were terrified of him. He could go from loving husband and father in an instant to being a monster. And yeah, there's a couple of scenes that capture that, but not to the full extent the way that the real-life wife talked about. And I was hoping to see that in the movie, simply for the fact that you would see how much of a monster this guy was, not just on the outside, but how much of a monster he was behind closed doors. Now, Wynonna Rider, unlike Michael Shannon, didn't do a lot of research into the real-life wife of Kuklinski. And I think that's part of the reason why there's so much inaccuracies with her character. Now, the kids that play Kuklinski's children, there were a couple of scenes where they were terrified of their father, but nothing like what was in real life. Now, Ray Liotta, who played Roy DeMeo, he gives an outstanding performance in this film as well. And I don't really know how much is accurate with his character and how much of it's inaccurate, because I didn't do a lot of research into Roy. The research that I did was more so on who Kuklinski was and the relationships that he had with his family. One of the things that this movie shows, and this is a bit of a spoiler, the Josh Rosenthal character, played by David Schwimmer, is almost like a son to Roy DeMeo. And there's definitely some tension between them because of something that he does that upsets the crime families within the area. Whether that happened in real life, I don't know. But I feel that part of the movie is what set the tone for tension between all the characters, and what put a stressor on Kuklinski to make him snap the way that he did on his family in those couple of scenes I was talking about. And there's also a huge thing that happens between Josh and Roy that I'm not going to spoil for you guys. If you choose to watch the movie, you'll see what that big surprise is. But overall, the cast had an outstanding performance in this movie, and that's not why I'm upset with it. I'm just upset because I wanted a movie that would have stuck to the facts the way it happened according to Kuklinski, and that's not what we got. Now, if you want to know who he really was and what really happened, you're better off watching the Iceman tapes that's available on Amazon, Google Play, and YouTube. Then watch the movie, and you'll understand, well, at least I think you'll understand, why I give it such a low rating and why I wasn't happy with it. And yeah, I'm not the only person that said that. There's a lot of people that were disappointed because it didn't stick to the facts the way we thought it would. Anyways, is it worth a watch? Yeah, it's worth a watch. It's a decent movie. But it's not going to give you a true, accurate portrayal of who he was or what really happened. And for that reason, I'm rating this movie a 4 out of 10 stars. Yeah, make it 5 out of 10. Got to give some love to the actors and actresses for doing such a great job. But as far as sticking to the story, no way. Didn't like it. But anyways, that's my thoughts and review on today's movie, The Iceman. I may make another video where I break down scene by scene like I normally do. But I just wanted to get my thoughts and feelings on it first today in this video and give a quick review on it. Now, some of the things coming up that you guys have to look forward to, I did talk to that junk man about being a co-host as a guest on my channel to do Star Wars and Indiana Jones. Junkman is very busy right now, and we don't have any time to get together to do that, so we're placing that project on the back burner for the moment, but it will eventually come to the channel, and it's going to be awesome when it does. Now, one of my top fans, his name is Del R. Newberry, and he is perhaps my #1 fan on this channel. I reached out to him to ask him how he would feel about being a guest on my channel to talk about his favorite horror movie and have a question and answer session with me about the channel, questions about why I wear a mask, stuff like that. And that's one of the things you have to look forward to. And if you ever want to be a guest on my channel, let me know, and I'll make sure that happens. Also, I've been watching some Netflix movies lately that I think are worth a review. But I'll post those at a later date when I'm ready to do a review on them. I hope you guys have enjoyed the content that's available on the channel right now. If you liked today's video, please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, I can't thank you guys enough who have already subscribed to the channel. I can't thank the viewers enough for taking the time to view my content. It really does mean a lot to me. And I hope that this channel can grow and continue bringing you guys some great, honest reviews. Anyways, that's all I got today, folks. And don't forget, I'm your host, that movie review guy. Have a good one.